Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens.
Problematic.
Sound out of my left earbud.
Getting off to a banging start here.
Joining me as always,
Step ends.
Dollar Bill Dave.
I touch myself.
I just need to clip that. Just Dave leaning for. I touched myself.
And Timmy C.
Goo goo goo.
Dave's is awesome, and he got a new hat, and it's hilarious. Are you drunk? Yes or no? And it's marked on the right-hand side for both.
Time limit draws get my panties wet. I love it.
We've covered this butt wipe on a few different occasions.
Butt wipe?
You don't call people butt wipe anymore?
No, I'm not 7. Good news is I've limited the producer's amount to screw us over this, so we're actually going to get to sing along with the songs now. You are welcome.
You gotta fight for your right to party! I lost my camera. I don't know what happened here.
Hello, and I guess I'm editing. Okay, cool. Find your camera, dickhead.
I'm working on it. What in the hell?
We're off to a great start.
We're off to a banging start. Isn't that what I said?
Way to bring in the new year. I'm back. All right.
Pow!
Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, as you can see with your eyes now, TJ Stevens.
Step ins.
Joining me, as always, Dollar Bill Dave.
I'm back, bitches.
That's right. Fresh off his December loss in box score trivia because he did not show up for Starrcade 88. And the winner, Timmy C's here.
Pow, 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 pow,
No,
pow.
I won because I totally smashed him in the car this morning as I was listening to the show.
I've
So-
done that to chicks before.
You
them
smashed
in the
your
car.
fingers in car doors.
I
That's about it.
smashed them in a car.
That's
I
why they're all
smashed
crooked.
my fingers got smashed in the car as well.
But I did, Tim, I have talked to the championship committee about your December win. And
Is only Anderson on that old fuck?
yes, the decision came down. You have been disqualified because you called
Did I
Nolan
throw him
Ryan
over the top rope?
No, because you called Nolan Ryan a stat compiler.
He is.
Therefore, you are ineligible. Dave wins December box score trivia.
What is eligible?
You're ineligible.
I'm illegible.
You're
You cannot read my writing.
eligible, and I am illegible. But,
inedible?
My style is superfluous.
It's good. It's good to see you're taking the loss well. You know what you should do to take this loss well is you should follow us on Twitter at FF Popcast. On Instagram, we're doing stuff there now. We just did a live show. Actually, Starrcade 88 was live on Instagram, which, by the way, between us, right, us three and the people listening to the show, that was our biggest live show ever. And that includes Shamrock and Nick Aldis. That was it. That was the biggest one.
Well, we're way more entertaining than those guys, so.
That's true. And of course, follow our Patreon network on Twitter at FilterFreeNet. But they go there, Timmy. The website is www.patreon.com/filterfree. What do we have available for them?
Well, you would get Legends. Let's rethink this. Football is getting paid with Tim and Dave, which is now ended because Dave doesn't watch football. Because
We're back. We can
Florida
do this
State,
week.
his Florida State seamen were.
We can do this weekend's games.
Well, my season ended last weekend, so I mean,
My team's still in it.
the Bengals.
If I remember episode 1, you said the Bengals were going to win the Super Bowl.
All right,
You said the
could not have accounted for Burrow's
and
hand
you said the
falling off.
Bears were going to win their division and make a run.
You know what's fun though?
They
is
still have a chance to make the playoffs.
the Bears are still in the hunt.
Yeah, they have a 1% chance.
They have for 3 weeks now.
Have you seen the NFC South? There's a real good chance they'll all lose and they're playing each other.
They might they might let the Bears win the NFC South.
If the Bengals were in the NFC,
The
if
Bucks
Bengals were
already
in
beat the Bears.
NFC West, they would have won the division already.
The Bucks already have the tiebreaker over the Bears.
It's true.
What is that?
No, they beat us. They played us when we were still terrible.
Last week?
No, it was early.
No.
What are the Bears going to do with their number 1 pick?
Oh God, like they're in the honey hole. They should be so good next year. They get what, 2 of the top 3?
No, the Bears I think are number 5 right now. Their actual pick I think is number 5.
So they're 1 and 5.
1
They
and
get
5.
2 of the top 5.
They're guaranteed number 5 or I'm sorry, number 1.
Yeah,
If I'm the Bears,
I
because
trade it.
yes, because the talk of the town and Fields has been playing his ass off the last few weeks, and he just looked great against Atlanta. But I'm trading that, but I'm keeping that pick still in the top 4 because I'm taking Marvin Harrison Jr. And then whoever the first available offensive lineman is, I'm taking them also.
Just give me the tight end from Georgia. I hope he falls to us. What's his name? Damn it, Dave. You should know this.
I wasn't paying attention.
The tight end from Georgia that was hurt and came back.
Brock Bowers.
Yes, I want him. I want him so bad because we're losing T. Higgins, so we're gonna lose our big body. I want him so bad.
Do you not have tight ends?
You need a quarterback that's not made out of freaking glass.
Yeah.
Oh, bitch ass Burrow ruined my damn fantasy season.
Wait, I am in the 3rd place game, and I'm crushing the guy I'm playing heading into this week.
I stopped playing fantasy.
My season ended last week. I had to find a quarterback because I didn't trust Geno Smith. I went out and got Jordan Love.
That's a good plan.
I had to play against. So I was down 16 points going into the last game. I had Jordan Love and he had Aaron Jones. I won 118 to 116.
Wow.
I had like a 12% chance going into the game to win.
So the Bears will be in the playoffs next week.
I know
Just
that.
like I said.
12%.
In round 1 of the 3rd place game, I had Harrison Butker, who put up 22 because he made 49 field goals for the Chiefs. I also had the Bills defense, who had 3 picks and scored a touchdown.
You know how disappointed I would fucking be if I had drafted Josh Allen as my fantasy quarterback. Have you seen his past numbers?
He's my fantasy quarterback. He's
74 yards, 82 yards.
Did I mention I'm in the 3rd place game?
Exactly. You could have.
And the only reason why I'm not in the title game is because I played Hollywood Brown and he goose egged me.
Why would you do that?
I played him all year. He's been pretty consistent.
Terrible.
He's been pretty consistent. Hollywood Brown from Arizona.
Been consistently bad.
So
Connor for Arizona got me all my points. Him and Jordan.
James Connor?
Yeah.
Connor. James Connor.
John Connor.
All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, please. Since this is sort of a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it was a week ago now as this comes out, but yes.
It doesn't matter.
Well, you're right. I don't think a story is going to top this one.
So let's talk about NDAs. No, not Vince McMahon.
Actually, another story has come out to top it, but please.
Oh, well, we can talk that next.
Well,
I don't know that I've heard that.
It's what you're going to talk about, but the specifics. So you start.
Okay. Well, I know apparently it wasn't Kylie Ray, which I heard, but Chris Jericho, which I totally believe this, sexually harassed somebody.
Allegedly.
Definitely allegedly.
Mm.
And then the definitely allegedly cokehead promoter of AEW goes to the media scrum afterwards, knowing someone is going to ask him about that. And what's he do? The asshat wears a wig and fake glasses. And yes, I know I'm wearing sunglasses right now, but no one's going to ask me about sexual harassment.
That's true.
What are you doing?
So I would love to say this was a shock.
I'm not shocked.
It wasn't. It's pretty on par.
The motherfucker can't tie his shoes.
I think what we're witnessing, because fathom this for a minute. We are less than 3 months out from CM Punk being fired.
Correct.
That was less than 3 months ago. Then he goes to Survivor Series and lights the WWE on fire. He got fired in October.
Oh, well.
The fight happened in September.
Right. Remember we were at Starcast when it happened. We were recording our AWA or our UWF show with Efren, who farted in a microphone. And so that happened. He goes to WWE lights the world on fire. And now, where has, for one, and I'm not being dismissive. I mean this. Has Jack Perry been back on TV?
No.
Okay, so he's still MIA.
Yep.
And now this comes out. Again, people came to the assumption when Nick Houseman announced it that it was Kylie Ray because
Which is wrong.
It's wrong, but because of the time frame and who and what. But he never said it. So now people are saying he's backtracking on the story when he's not. He's just saying, I didn't say it was Kylie Ray. You guys did.
Right.
And again, like you said, Timmy, totally believe it, because now there are other, again, whether or not you can believe them all is yet to be seen, but we're hearing other stories of things like this going on. And Tony Khan comes out dressed like he's getting ready to do the Humpty dance. And what I think we're watching right now in front of us,
the end of the world,
is the end of AEW. They might limp along for another year.
They'll limp along. He's got too much money.
Well, you got to remember too, their TV rights deal's coming up.
Like I said before, he will get AEW on a TV channel, whether it's popular or something stupid. He'll get them on that channel.
Like he's the modern day Herb Abrams, but his shit's a lot more popular than Herb's was.
He'll get his show on a channel, but his show's gonna dwindle, and unless he starts making some money, Daddy ain't gonna be signing these checks forever.
But unless he starts,
I bet he would.
Unless he starts,
maybe he will, because he ain't losing billions.
No, unless he starts making definitive personnel decisions. And actually, I don't know, running a locker room the way it should be.
Well, he's a child, so that's not going to happen.
The problem is he wants to be the booker and the head of everything. He needs to let people that actually know what the fuck they're doing do it, and have some direction in your company and have some leadership in your company, and put people in their place and be like, no, how about don't go out there and stab yourself in the eye with a fork? That's stupid. Triple H is very professional when he does these press releases and press shit after all the events. He's not hugging on everybody and knob-gobbling on somebody. No, he tells you the shit, answers a couple questions, and goes on his way. Be professional. That's the main thing.
Like an actual press conference should be.
Yeah. Be professional, man. I mean, yeah, I get it. Tony Storm put her hat and wig and sunglasses on you. But you had to know what was coming. You have to.
They literally chanted NDA at Jericho during the show.
Yes. You knew what was coming. And if you have to, and you're playing a little bit right there with Tony, you immediately take it off and have a serious tone when you're talking. And this comes from me. I'm about the most unprofessional fucker in the world.
That's absolutely true.
That is, yes, verified.
So just at some point, he needs somebody to reel him in. Kind of like what we had said past years with WWE, what the problem was. They need somebody to reel Vince in and get him up on the times.
But not, I mean, like, look, what Vince did was shitty. But he was at least trying to professionally cover it up. Tony Khan's just out there in a wig and sunglasses going, nope, didn't happen.
I'm saying Vince McMahon in terms of the product he was putting on TV.
Running a business, right. But this needs to be said too. Because I've seen this argument a lot. And you guys, it's tiresome. Can we stop this? Anytime something bad happens in AEW, what is the counter argument? But Vince.
Yeah.
Vince did it. Vince did all these things.
Vince
know
ain't
that.
There now. Vince is not there now.
Why? Well, what was it, a year and a half ago? Vince initially left for a little bit before the Endeavor deal.
Yeah.
Why did that happen? Because the fans literally chased him out of there. So don't sit here and pretend like we were quiet when Vince McMahon did it, but now because it's an AEW, we're loud. That's not true.
But here's the thing. What Vince was doing was killing the business because it was just fucking boring. What Tony Khan is doing, it's like he's legit putting people in danger. Did you see Edge flip that little kid onto the flaming table and completely miss it?
But yet AEW, that was his response too. AEW has the highest,
the safety
record.
Yes,
in professional wrestling. For one, how do you quantify that? What
Ask
does that
Matt
mean?
Hardy about that safety record.
Oh, geez.
I'll take SCW over them any day in terms
Absolutely.
of safety. They're not putting people through flaming doors and missing shit.
But again,
dude missed the table.
The argument of, well, Vince raped all of we know.
Yeah, he's a shitbag. We agree. Vince McMahon, shitbag.
It's not okay.
Definitely.
And if the stories are true about Jericho, it's not okay for him either.
And
why is this hard?
And to be fair, we've kind of seen Jericho at a meet and greet. I totally believe he did it. I totally believe it. He is a slick son of a bitch.
Like, imagine how he dresses to the ring every day on TV. That's how he dresses all the time.
Yeah.
No shirt, scarf, leather.
Getting in a hot tub, just all that stuff. I'm like, why are there sequins floating next to me?
Remember when we came off the bus to go back to the air, or got on the bus to go back to the airport? He came out, clearly hadn't slept the night before, still painted like Danhausen.
Yeah.
It's tremendous. But yeah, I mean, if this is true, which again, Tony Khan had the chance to say definitively that didn't happen, didn't.
No comment.
Chris Jericho has had the opportunity to definitively say that didn't happen. He hasn't. So again, I say this with a big asterisk. If this happened, I mean, this is going to be the end of Jericho.
End of Jericho's coming anyway.
And you know, and one thing too, if you're Edge and Christian, what are you thinking right now? Like, Jesus, we left for this?
Edge is thinking, Jesus Christ, almost killed that kid.
Well, that's true, but he's got great insurance, so I mean,
according to
he's like, my neck's all jacked up. Let me see if I can do it to this 19-year-old kid.
Let me show you what it's like. Anything else we need to?
Some of these guys have to be kicking themselves.
What about FTR? They re-signed just before Punk got fired.
Not John Moxley. John Moxley loved they let him.
Well, John Moxley's the only one.
He's like happy as a pig and shit.
I don't know.
And Daniel Bryan, because they made Daniel Bryan in charge of shit. He's the head of the disciplinary. What?
Yeah, that's stupid. But did you guys?
The guy with brain damage? Yeah, that checks out.
I saw the clip. I saw a clip just before we started recording tonight of John Moxley wrestling wherever it is he just wrestled. I don't know. I didn't pay attention that closely. And they were interviewing like how he fought for some championship. I don't remember which one it was. And they're like, how do you feel? Like, what would this championship would have meant to you had you won it? And he got the name wrong. And then listed 3 more championships. And he said, whatever fucking championship, I can't remember which one it was. There's like 32 of them. So he may not be as happy as he's letting on.
Tell me, no, I'm not even going to say that because that's too far. But
I mean, you think Keith Lee isn't kicking himself?
Well, he can. He's too fat.
I mean, they were setting him up for Brock Lesnar. And he left because he got hurt.
You know what I would like to hear? I would like to hear the conversations in the WWE locker room between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins talking about John Moxley. He could have been a damn king, and he's over there just cutting the shit out of himself.
Sticking skewers in his head. Like, MJF and Wardlow have just got to be like, oh my, how much longer do I have? I just have to.
When MJF's, unless he's re-signed, he's up soon, isn't he?
I think he signed a 1-year deal.
I still think Tony Khan's going to throw the bank at MJF to make sure he doesn't leave. WWE's not going to pay him what Tony Khan will.
Well,
I disagree.
Because they're reasonable with money.
Well, they don't have to. WWE doesn't have to.
I still think they will.
Well, Tony Khan has offered me
that
$21
dude
million
is
a
money.
Year. WWE is not going to offer MJF even remotely close to what Tony Khan will.
True.
Because WWE does not need MJF.
But I think MJF's at the point that he wants to. Okay, I need to
Don't forget that MJF and Cody are very good friends. And I think MJF's to the point where he can see what's going on and is like, you know what? Might be worth that pay cut to come over here and prove myself. And then I make the real money.
Because it's unfortunate, because imagine if Cody finishes the story of WrestleMania and then bam, he gets attacked by a debuting MJF. People would lose their shit. And
AEW fans would literally...
They'd burn the building down. Whatever building they were in at the time, they'd burn
whatever shack they're hanging out in.
But
all 12 of them would just burn it down.
And again, we have to preface this every time we have these conversations. We don't want to pick on AEW. We want AEW to be good. We want them to be successful. They make it easy because they do dumb shit all the time.
I'm going.
Yeah, they do.
Just get better.
They can't. They take 2 steps forward and then they trip over their own dick and they have to start over again.
They are literally the only place that takes 2 steps forward, 3 steps back.
Yeah,
I can't believe how excited I was when AEW got announced.
Right? We were
and how disappointed I am.
Yeah,
just how lackluster it has been.
Ricky Starks was just at the dungeon training. He's gone when his deal's up.
Well, we kind of knew that.
I mean, we did, yes. Anything else we need to go over before we?
No, we're already a half hour in. Let's see if we can't do our own show.
Timmy,
it's always sex night at Dave's house.
I'm coming to Dave's house. Timmy, put your hand on that button.
Sex with Dave?
Yes, absolutely. Look at him.
What?
Because this week we're going back to that could not be better. January 11th. 1993, another Dave pick. We're going to watch the first ever Monday Night Raw.
At least it was on the network and not on YouTube.
Well, that's next week. Just wait. However, before we get to that show, let's see what was happening in your world yesterday.
Next week, we're watching IWCCW from November 13th, 1956.
Whoa. It's not even on YouTube. We have to watch that in like the old 9mm.
We'll be watching it on Stone.
Let's see what was happening in your world yesterday. First up, stories that missed the cut. January 1st, it's bowl season as number 6 Syracuse. Let me repeat that. Beats number 10 Colorado in the Fiesta Bowl 26-22. Number 3 Florida State beats number 11 Nebraska 27-14 in the Orange Bowl. Number 2 Alabama beats the Doors off of number 1 Miami 34-13 in the Sugar Bowl. And number 7 Michigan beats number 9 Washington 38-31.
It's too bad Michigan didn't beat Washington this year.
I got to be with Dave here. I haven't watched a single bowl game, but it's not because of the reasons he hasn't. I just don't care.
Nobody plays in them.
I watched because of gambling.
January 4th, we have the 7th largest wrestling crowd ever to gather as they watch the 3rd WCW New Japan Super Show, and they draw 63,500 people.
That's not from anybody WCW was pushing out over there, that's for sure.
Great Muda.
I believe
WCW in 1990 was bad.
I think Rube was on the. Actually, I believe this might have been the show Rube got hurt. I might have
Dave completely
Rude
wrong.
wrestled.
Okay.
Rude might have gotten hurt here, but this wasn't the end of his career.
Right, I think this is where he got hurt. I have to look that up.
Because I'm watching WCW right now, 93.
It's trash?
Yeah, it's bad. But Bob Cook's been on it. He throws a hell of a punch.
Firebreaker Chip.
They have the Wrecking Crew.
The Wrecking Crew.
Rage and Mustache or something like that.
Right.
Mustachio.
Somebody's wrestling name needs to be Mustache Tomorrow.
It's Rage and Fury.
Don't listen, Tony Khan. You'll do it. Don't do it.
Not you. Rick Boogs is going to debut his Mustache. January 5th.
They've already renamed Luchasaurus Kill Switch.
Yeah, that's true. January 5th, Reggie Jackson's elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
Once again, didn't kill Queen Elizabeth.
That's
he made
true.
That very clear.
He admitted it. January 6th, jazz legend Dizzy Gillespie dies of cancer at age 75.
Who's she?
Also on January 6th, bassist Bill Wyman announces he's leaving the Beatles.
What? Beetle Bill. Oh, Beetle Bill.
Who?
Wait,
Bill Wyman is leaving the Beatles.
Did I write down the wrong band?
I'm pretty sure you did.
Bill, it's
he
Beetle.
Was not one of the Beatles.
Beetle Bill. Remember, it used to be in the newspaper.
It's
the guy with his
Beetle
hat
Bill.
over his hand.
That's Beetle Bailey.
Oh, I put the Beatles. I meant to say the Rolling Stones.
Very similar.
They're very similar. They're both British.
What?
Beetle.
I remember Mick
They're
Jagger
both
fronting the Beatles at one time.
Everyone does.
Great.
I ever tell you about that story when I met Mick Jagger?
Shut up.
January 8th, Michael Jordan scores 35 points in a Chicago Bulls win, 120-95 over the Bucks. This makes him the second fastest player ever to reach 20,000 points. Actually finished the game with 20,000 on the nose, accomplishing this feat in his 620th game, only a season and a half, 121 games behind Wilt Chamberlain.
But Michael's still several dozens of women behind Wilt, though.
I think he's okay with that.
Allegedly.
Maybe.
I'd be okay just being a few dozen behind him.
You're a million behind him.
Well, how much is it? Define a few.
I said several dozen.
Several
a
dozen
few.
thousand.
A few dozen and 12, 13 dozen.
It is
a dozen.
It's because we've covered that story before. Wilt Chamberlain, how many women he's just banged
There's
across
no
the country.
way his number's accurate.
No, but just to think like,
you know what?
So
Even if
shit.
his number's not accurate, I would still be okay just being a few dozen behind him.
but you would.
What if he's at 12?
He's not at 12.
Well, I guess I'm gonna be a monk.
He's probably got that many kids.
January 12th, Ruth Brown Cream, CCR, The Doors, Van Morrison, and Dick Clark head into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in their 8th induction class.
Don't forget Bill Wyman of the Beatles.
Cream? Is that
Eric
a white
Get
Clapton.
on top.
Eric Clapton's first band, Cream.
Is that a white rapper? Cream?
Cream, get on top.
No, it's Eric Clapton, the guy that may or may not
White
really-
room, black color curtain.
really, really like white people.
Well, he was in a white room with black curtains.
In a white room with the black curtains.
I don't even
You're on
know
a
that's,
shack.
that's a song.
Oh.
It's
Shitting here for certain.
January 14th.
Ew. Ouch.
Mark Eaton of the Utah Jazz records his 3,000th career block in a 96-89 win over the Supersonics, making him the second player all time to do so. The other, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Only 17,000 more blocks, and he'd had as many points as Michael Jordan.
That's true.
What was he eating?
Timmy's on it today. January 17th, the Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins 29-10 to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl, and the Cowboys beat the 49ers 30-20 to do the same. More on this in a little bit.
Moron.
Actually, no, we don't talk about the Super Bowl because it was a disaster.
But we'll get to it in Stories in the Wheelhouse. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Actually, I bring it up in Stories of Missed the Cut, I'm pretty sure.
That's what I
pretty
meant.
sure I bring it up
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
January 20th, Bill Clinton's inaugurated as the 42nd president of the United States.
Boy, don't envy him right about now.
No, I would not. I certainly would not. January 23rd, Son of a Woman cleans house at the 50th Golden Globes.
Is that a horse race?
Son of a Woman?
Horse? Son of a Woman? Sounds like a horse. Sounds like a great horse name.
No, that's where you
Kentucky
go in
Derby.
Seattle. It's where you go in Seattle and they throw the fish.
It should- See, if I was gonna make buy a racehorse and name it after that movie, I would call it Cinnamon Woman.
Cinnamon Woman!
There you go. He gets
Stay
it.
away from me!
Of course, I'd name it Oh Fuck. We're on the track. Oh fuck! Takes the lead.
Or I hope you stub your pinky toe.
And if he gets old, he's like, "Look at that old fuck."
And you know what? I do like that in retrospect. Yes. January 23rd, Newsday reports that Oregon Senator Bob Packwood has sexually harassed 23 different women.
How could you not see that coming?
His last name is Packwood.
His last name is Packwood.
Boy. January 24th, Thurgood Marshall, not nearly as big an asshole as Bob Packwood, first African-American Supreme Court justice passed away at the age of 84.
Good man.
I saw his gravesite at Arlington National Cemetery when I was there a couple years ago.
If you've never been to Arlington National Cemetery, by the way, you have to go.
It is amazing.
It melts your brain.
I'd go for JFK.
Seen it.
Eternal Flame.
Yep. January 31st, the Cowboys mop up the floor with the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl 52-17. This is still tied for third for biggest Super Bowl blowouts.
I was so heartbroken. Third in a row.
Little early box score trivia. This is tied for third. Do you know the other three games that are tied with it or above it?
San Francisco and San Diego.
That was number 2.
Well, I'm just guessing by the halftime score. That time the Falcons played the Patriots.
No, and
No.
the
They were up by 28 at halftime. Surely
25.
Denver and Seattle.
Denver, Seattle. So this was, what is this? 35 points. Denver and Seattle, they won by 36.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't remember. But
The Chicago Cardinals
no.
You're already kicked out of box score trivia because you're
and the
an idiot.
Waukegan
Bears
helmets.
Bears, Patriots, Super Bowl 20, 46-10. And then the other one was Denver and San Francisco.
Denver and Seattle.
No, it was Denver, San Francisco. It was Montana.
Oh,
He-
yeah, Denver.
He literally just answered it, and you tried to give another answer.
No, it's not that one.
I
But
remember that. Montana and Elway. That was Elway's first Super Bowl, and they got murdered.
I think you're right, though, because I believe that Manning Super Bowl with Seattle was 43-7, if I remember right.
It was brutal.
Yeah. I remember the first play of the game was a fumble.
Because my post on Facebook got deleted off Facebook because
Weird.
that was the same day that
Florida State Seminole legend.
shit, what's his name? Died. He died of a
entered the
heroin.
transfer.
He was
portal.
in the Hunger Games. Hold on, pause.
the Hunger Games.
Yeah, what's his name?
Are you a teenage girl?
It was the same day Philip Seymour Hoffman died.
Oh, I love Philip Seymour Hoffman.
All right, wait.
And
stop.
I wrote on Twitter.
Stop. Of all the movies you could have picked Philip Seymour Hoffman out of, you go, he was in the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
What?
So he died of a heroin overdose. And I wrote on Facebook, I'm so glad Philip Seymour Hoffman didn't live to see this.
Wow.
By the way,
Too soon.
By the way, do not. Well, I guess cut this, but TJ, him describing Philip Seymour Hoffman from the Hunger Games is the real this week.
Yes. Hear that, James? Here we go. Stories in the wheelhouse. January 3rd, before getting completely murdered in the Super Bowl, the Buffalo Bills proved that Florida State should have been in the college football playoff.
Yes.
As they have the biggest comeback win in NFL history, and they did it in the wild card game against Warren Moon and the Oilers. And you may be asking yourself, what possible correlation does this game have with Florida State in the college football playoff? Well, they were allegedly disqualified for being on their backup quarterback when this game was pulled off, not by Hall of Fame quarterback Jim Kelly, but backup quarterback Frank Reich. Earlier in Reich's collegiate career, he led the Maryland Terrapins back from a 31-0 deficit against the Miami Hurricanes after starting quarterback Stan Gelbaugh was injured. So Reich literally makes Florida State's case twice.
2 times.
This was the
little known fact. He was actually the third Reich in the family.
You're on thin ice, buddy. This was the NCAA record until Michigan State stormed back to beat Northwestern in 2006. Here in 1993, Reich took over for the Bills just the week before as the Bills played the Oilers, and starting quarterback Jim Kelly strained some ligaments in his knee. In that game, Houston won 27-3. In the first half of this wild card game, Warren Moon went 19 of 22 for 218 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Oilers looked unstoppable, and the Bills looked like they didn't even show up. During halftime, this is my favorite thing I've ever heard. Defensive coordinator of the Bills, Walt Corey, began yelling at the players the same things the fans were yelling at him. That's tremendous. Then the second half started.
1 minute and 41 seconds into the second half, the halftime deficit of 28-3 grew larger as Wright threw a pass that bounced off the hands of tight end Keith McKellar and was intercepted and returned 58 yards for a touchdown by Oilers defensive back Bubba McDowell.
Loved him in Police Academy.
That's Bubba Hightower.
No, it was Hightower. It was Bubba Smith.
Oh, Bubba Smith.
To make matters worse,
I was right.
Star running back Thurman Thomas had to leave the game due to a hip injury on that drive.
Fat ass Thurman Thomas.
I will karate chop you in the left groin.
Who was the left groin? Who was their backup? Kenneth Davis?
No, Kenneth Davis. Yeah.
Eric Davis.
Buffalo was able to take advantage of a bad kickoff on its next possession as the wind blew the ball off the tee right as the kicker was kicking it. So it just squibbed right down the field.
They need a dome in Buffalo.
No, they don't.
Reich drove the Bills offense 50 yards in 10 plays, finally finding the end zone on a 1-yard pass to backup running back Kenneth Davis.
Nah, there we go.
After the touchdown, Buffalo kicker Steve Christie recovered his own kickoff in a play that was not planned to be an onside kick due to the wind again.
Yeah, they don't need a dome.
No, they don't.
Buffalo would then score 4 plays later when Wright connected with wide receiver Don Beebe on a 38-yard pass. Remember when he used to have that pad on top of his helmet? And he looked like an alien.
Pew, pew.
Don Beebe and Jesse Sapalo had one too. I remember that.
After a ferocious third quarter that saw Buffalo score 28 points, the game momentum had completely swung in Buffalo's favor. Buffalo would actually go and take the lead in the fourth quarter before giving up the game-tying field goal that ultimately forced the game into overtime.
Hold on, time out, Timmy, before you go. Dave, I just glossed over your notes. Dave left us with the cliffhanger.
And yeah, Timmy didn't.
As the game goes into overtime, and Timmy's like, fuck that. I'm going to talk about Jeff Saturday.
My notes were in first.
Houston won the coin toss in overtime, had to punt. Buffalo went right down the field, kicked a field goal, and history was made. 41-38,
Yep.
Buffalo Bills.
Well, that works out because we're going to talk about that same field goal kicker. After retiring as a player, Reich began an NFL coaching career, holding assistant positions from 2008 to 2017. He was
Seymour Hoffman.
Yes. He was the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles when they won their first Super Bowl title in Super Bowl LII, or 52. He later served as head coach of the Indianapolis Colts from 2018 to 2022 and guided the team to 2 playoff appearances, although he didn't do a whole lot. After making Andrew Luck quit football, his career began to spiral, looking for any old washed-up has-been or never was to take the helm. Jacoby Brissett in 2019, Phillip Rivers in 2020, Carson Wentz, the statue in 2021, and Matt Ryan and Sam Ellinger in 2022. What are you doing? And he was fired, so Jeff Saturday could coach the team. How'd that work out?
Not great.
They won a game with him.
They did one, the first one.
Yeah.
Speaking of winning one game, he was the Panthers head coach in 2023 before being fired before the end of the season after a 1-10 record.
I don't blame him for that.
Well, to be fair, the Panthers have nobody on their team. And apparently they hired him to be the head coach. And then he and the general manager and owner immediately had issues because he wanted to draft the guy from Ohio State.
I think he didn't want drinks thrown on him.
There's that too.
Yeah. What's the quarterback from Ohio State?
Oh,
I went to Texans.
I just heard his name today. And
what's his name?
Sam Ellinger.
No.
No. Matt Ryan.
But they traded.
He wanted him, not the guy from Alabama. And they had beef. And then they traded the whole damn team away.
Anyway.
They got nothing.
Yeah,
this guy's as good as a coach as he was in the Super Bowl.
But thank you. I've got DJ Moore, so thank you for that.
How'd that work out? The Cowboys kicked the dog shit out of him in the Super Bowl?
They did, yes.
Okay, just checking. But I did hear that breaking news. I heard that if he gets another head coaching position, he's going to hire Scott Norwood as the special teams coach.
Oh, I hate Scott Norwood. Such an easy field goal.
I don't know if it was easy, but
Well,
like
which
41
one?
yards or
Because he
something
did
like
it a few times. I mean,
that. The Scott Norwood, they got rid of him. They got Steve Christie the next year.
Yeah.
should have got Chris Christie.
Could you imagine him in a uniform?
He'd look worse than Tony Saragusa.
He can't wear a suit, and you're expecting him to put on pads and wear a football uniform. Oh. Every time he wears a suit and unbuttons his jacket, it looks like he's getting ready to go into his sewer. January 18th. Speaking of Congress, even though it was declared a holiday by President
Where's box
Ronald
score
Reagan-
trivia?
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
But today, I'm the greatest of all time.
Running and wild. McCurdy with a great lift.
Here it is. H. Pressure with three. Winston's going to run the ball. Makes a guy miss. Up down there. Over the second rafter. Off the floor. Nothing but net. Through the window. Off the wall. Nothing but net. You like that? You like that? I like that.
You gotta like that, right?
See, I was really going to throw it, change it up today, and I was going to do box score trivia, but it's going to be legislation passed by the Senate in
Like Chris
1983.
Christie.
So, of course, we just talked about Frank Reich in the hapless Buffalo Bills. So, of course, we're doing 1993 NFL league leaders. Timmy, we'll see if you can repeat from last month. Here we go. We're starting with passing touchdown leaders.
Jim Kelly.
And I will warn you,
Steve
ahead of
Young.
time, there is a Phoenix Cardinal on this list. Steve Young led the league with 25.
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly.
I already
guessed
said
it.
Jim Kelly.
Did you shut your face?
John
Marino.
Elway.
Both of you stop.
Dan
Timmy
Marino.
guessed Jim Kelly first. 1-1. Dave, what was your next one?
Dan Marino.
That is not what you said, but Dan Marino, no.
Steve Young. Dan
John
Marino.
Elway.
John Elway, second with 25.
Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman, 10th with 15.
Warren Moon.
Randall Cunningham.
Warren Moon, fourth with 21. Randall Cunningham, no.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre, fifth with 19.
Mark
Jeff
Rippon.
Hostetler.
Jeff Hostetler, no.
Mark Rippon.
Rippon, no.
Boomer Esiason.
Ninth with 15.
Bobby Hebert.
Third with 24.
Jim Everett.
No.
No. Finally, he missed.
Jeff Blake.
No. Shit.
Stan Humphries.
Good pick. No.
Joe Montana.
John Mooney. No.
Joe Montana.
No.
How many we have left?
1, 2, 3, 4.
We only got 6?
6?
You got
Young.
Young.
We've each got 4.
You got Young, Elway, Hebert, Moon, Favre, Kelly, Boomer, Aikman. There's people tied for 10th.
I was gonna say you just counted 7.
There's 8, but there's people
8.
tied for 10th.
Who's the Lomax?
Nope.
Bernie Lomax.
Nope. It's Neil, by the way.
Dave Craig.
No. It's the Giants, the Patriots,
Phil Simms.
Phil Simms.
Dave
I'm going to give it to both of you on that one.
I beat that bitch. What?
New England, Tampa Bay,
Drew Bledsoe.
and the Drew Bledsoe tied for 10th with 15.
Tampa Bay, Dave. Come on.
Tampa Bay and Phoenix.
Jeff George.
No. One more guess each.
Hold on, I'm thinking. Doug Williams.
No.
Bernie Williams.
Here you go. Your final two. They were both tied for 6 with Jim Kelly. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Craig Erickson with 18.
Scott's brother, yeah.
And Steve Berline of the Phoenix Cardinals.
Damn it, Steve Berline.
Here we go. Next category. Rushing yard leaders.
Emmett Smith.
Emmett Smith, Led the league.
Thurman Thomas.
Led the league
Barry
1,486. Thurman Thomas third. Barry Sanders fifth. So you got 1, 3, and 5.
Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker, no.
Tampa Bay Bucks legend Reggie Cobb.
No.
Corey Dillon.
No.
No. You might get
Ernest
one more.
Biner.
You absolutely should get one more, but I think one more is all you're going to get out of this. No.
Bo Jackson.
No.
Lorenzo White.
No.
The Bus.
Second, 1,429.
Give us some teams.
Phoenix. They must have been good here in 93. I know they weren't. Washington. Seattle. The Giants.
Ricky Waters.
No. The Patriots.
Dave Meggett.
No. And the Falcons.
Oh, Jamal Williams.
No.
Bitch, that's like 99.
Also, that's Jamal Anderson.
Whatever. Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Terry Allen.
No.
Magnum
Oh.
TA. Mike Allstott.
No. One more guess each. You're not going to get any of these.
James Brooks.
There's 2 of them I haven't heard of. No.
Rushing yards. 1992.
3.
We doing 92 or 93?
3.
This was the 92 season.
93 season.
Bitch, January of 93 to 92 season.
No idea.
I don't know.
Number 10 of the Phoenix Cardinals, Ronald Moore. 9th from Washington, Reggie Brooks. 8th from Seattle, Chris
What I
Warren.
said, Reggie Brooks.
That's not
No, you did not.
Chris Warren was 8th from the Seattle Seahawks. 7th, Rodney Hampton from the Giants.
Rodney Hampton.
6th from the Patriots, Leonard Russell. And 4th from the Atlanta Falcons, Eric Pegram had 1,185.
Eric Pegram.
Here we go. Where's the next? Oh, I went too far. Next one, receiving touchdowns.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice led the league. 16.
Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin. No.
Don Beebe.
Don Beebe. No.
Sterling Sharp.
Tied for 4th with 11.
Andre Rison.
Tied for 2nd with 15.
Art Monk.
Nah, he's
No.
retired.
Tim Brown.
No. There's some good ones.
John Taylor.
No.
Carl Pickens.
Mark
No.
Jackson.
No. There's some doozies on here. There's some good ones.
Yeah.
There's
Flipper Anderson.
Thurman Thomas.
There's 3 running backs on this list.
I was going
Don
to say
Beebe.
Thurman Thomas.
No.
Emmett Smith.
Tied for
Michael
6th with,
Irvin.
tied with 10.
I
We already
said
get
Michael Irvin
we already
out.
guessed Michael Irvin.
Barry Sanders.
Nope.
Herschel Walker.
No. I think one of these guys is actually a running backs coach for the team he played for back in the day now.
Nature on Means.
No.
Oh.
Shut up.
I am curious to know what Natron Means is up to these days.
Mark Duper.
No.
Fuck.
Oh, there's 4 running backs on this list.
Mark Clayton.
No.
Mark Jackson.
Nope.
I already said that.
There's a Marcus. There's no Marks.
Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen tied for 2nd with 15. It's 11-9. Dave's up right now.
Ricky Waters.
Ricky Waters tied for 4th
God,
with
you stole that
11.
from me for the last one.
Still one more running back on this list, but I think you guys should try to think of other people. There is one tight end.
Christian Okoye.
Keith Jackson.
No.
Sterling Sharp.
You already
I
guessed
already
it.
said that.
Oh.
Timmy,
Pete
you're down.
Metzelaars.
You're down by one. Great guess. Love me some Pete Metzelaars, but no.
Give us teams.
Denver, Phoenix, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Philly,
The
Green
bus.
Bay. Huh?
The bus.
No. And Green Bay is the other one. So Denver, Phoenix, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Philadelphia, Green Bay.
Lorenzo Neal.
No.
William Floyd.
No. Again, I would not necessarily focus on the running back part of this.
I give up.
Although the receivers aren't much better here. It's left.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh receivers and
It's 2 Hall of Famers here. Here we go. Tied for 9th. The Pittsburgh Steelers, Barry Foster with 9.
Who?
Yes. Ronald
it's
Moore.
Australian for beer.
Ronald Moore from the Phoenix Cardinals. Shannon Sharp from the Denver Broncos.
Oh,
And for the Minnesota Vikings, Chris Carter with 9.
how did we forget Chris Carter?
6 of the Green Bay Packers, Edgar Bennett with 10. And Calvin Williams from Philly. And you got... Wait, no, you didn't get the other running back. 4th, Ricky Waters.
I said Ricky
All
Waters.
right, well, then
Tim got it.
Okay, so,
So I win.
no.
Oh,
It's,
bitch.
it's 10 to 11.
Yeah, I'm still winning, whore.
Dave's winning 10 to
I-
11.
You just said I didn't get it.
No, you did. When I read it, I go, wait, somebody said this. So I got it. It's fine. Do you want me to go back through and make sure?
No,
Okay.
it's not that important.
Dave said no. Here we go.
Sex night at Dave's house.
January 18th.
Sacks. Bruce Smith, Reggie White, Derek Thomas.
No, we're not doing that.
That's all I got.
Well, let's see, just for fun. Sacks. Bruce Smith 2nd.
Kevin
Reggie White tied for 4th.
Derek Thomas.
No Derek Thomas.
Kevin Green.
Tied for 7th.
Mongo.
James Francis.
No to both.
Oh.
Mongo was not around in 93.
No, he was.
In 93?
He was playing for Philly during Super Bowl
Charles
11.
Haley.
When remember he was on LT's team.
You have shit on your lip. Get it off.
Charles Haley. No. Wasn't planning on doing this. This is fun.
Bill Romanowski.
Nope.
Warren Sapp.
Nope. Warren Sapp.
No, in 93?
What the fuck are we doing?
You're an idiot.
Well, you allowed. This doesn't count, by the way.
Oh, I already put the points down.
Yeah, bitch.
What the hell? He picked a category.
You pick sacks like always.
Christian Okoye.
No. Christian Anthony Smith, John Randall, Chris Dolman, Richard
John
Dent,
Randall.
Chris Dolman.
Richard Dent, Ronaldo Turnbull, Sean Jones, and Simon Fletcher and Neil Smith.
How'd we
Simon
forget our
Fletcher,
best
not
friend, Sean
London
Jones?
Fletcher.
Simon Fletcher of the Denver Broncos.
How did we forget Sean Jones?
You always forget Sean Jones. So now with the bonus category, Dave's up 13 to 11. Woo! You're still down by 2. You were down by 2 before. Oh, I know, you're down by 1.
Yeah.
Get better. Get better, loser.
Yeah, that's right. January 18th.
Let's do home runs, 1988.
Why are we going to do 88?
And I beat you in it.
Oh, that's right.
Conseco McGuire. Boom, there's 2 more. 15-11 now, whore.
Eric Davis, Darryl Strawberry.
January 18th.
Racist.
Doc Gooden.
Even though it was declared a holiday by President Ronald Reagan in 1983, for the first
of racism.
Oh, dude, this is brutal. For the first time ever, all 50 states observed Martin Luther King Jr. Day. This may seem silly, because it is. Don't let yourself think that money doesn't cause people to come around. We'll get there. Senators Jesse Helms and John Porter East, both senators from North Carolina.
Very progressive.
Sure. Led in opposition to Martin Luther King. I'm going to repeat that. Led in opposition to Martin Luther King Day, being made into a holiday. I forgot a word.
And you said holiday.
Holiday. Yeah. Helms criticized King's opposition to the Vietnam War. By the way, this is War. I'm on fire tonight.
Your consonants are getting jacked up.
I just slobbered on myself.
I'm
still TJ when he said vor.
I'm still so amped up from your guys' enthusiasm during Blackboard Trivia. Anyway, Helms criticized King's opposition to the Vietnam War. Did I mention this is 1983? And then Senator John Porter East filibustered, submitted a 300-page document to the Senate alleging King to be a communist.
It should have been John Porter West.
New York Senator Daniel Patrick threw his 300-page letter of horseshit on the floor, stomped on it, and called it a packet of filth. In 1983, Reagan signed the day as a holiday after the bill was proposed by Katie Hall, a representative from the great state of Indiana.
I think I met her at spring break one time. Although the federal holiday honoring King was signed into law in 1983 and took effect 3 years later, not every U.S. state chose to observe the January holiday at the state level until 1991, when, and this is what I found out about it, New Hampshire legislature created Civil Rights Day and abolished its April Fast Day, celebrating women. I like it. In 1999, New Hampshire became the last state to name a holiday after King, which they first celebrated in January 2000. The first nationwide celebration of the day with this name. Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
2000. But it wasn't like I was expecting Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, not New Hampshire. They're the ones that are the most racist. Anyway, on May 2nd, 2000, South Carolina Governor Jim Hodges signed a bill to make King's birthday an official state holiday. Congrats. South Carolina was the last state to recognize the day as a paid holiday for all state employees. Good for you. Before the bill, this is the good part. Before the bill, employees could choose between celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day or one of the 3 Confederate holidays.
Good.
I'm
sorry, what?
Several additional states have chosen to combine commemorations of King's birthday with with other observances. In Alabama, it's Robert E. Lee / Martin Luther King Day.
Boy.
In Arizona, Martin Luther King Jr. Civil Rights Day. In
Arkansas, I mean, at least those are aligned.
In Arkansas, it was known as Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday and Robert E. Lee's birthday from 1985 until 2017. Legislation in March of 2017 changed the name of the state holiday to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday and moved the commemoration of Lee to October.
All right, so I have a question. Was Robert E. Lee's birthday the same birthday as Martin
I think
Luther King?
It was.
That's weird.
In Idaho, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Idaho Human Rights Day. In Virginia, it was known as Lee Jackson King Day, combining King's birthday with the established Lee Jackson Day. In 2000, Lee Jackson Day was moved to the Friday before Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and then Lee Jackson Day was eliminated in 2020. In Wyoming, it's known as Martin Luther King Jr. Wyoming Equality Day. Overall, as of 2019, 45% of employers give employees the day off. The reasons for doing so has varied, ranging from the recent addition of the holiday to its occurrence just 2 weeks before and after the week of Christmas and New Year's, when many businesses are closed for part or all of it.
We real dumb in this country.
As my friend Nate would say, we're big dumb. Big dumb. January 27th, one of the biggest icons of not just sports or film or pop culture, but an all-encompassing icon, Andre the Giant, passed away at the age of 46 from congestive heart failure.
You're talking about O.J. Simpson for a second.
If only. Just 6 years prior, Andre was on top of the world, staring across the ring at the biggest star in professional wrestling in the form of Hulk Hogan, in front of one of the biggest crowds ever inside of the Pontiac Silverdome, headlining the most important show ever at the time in the form of WrestleMania 3. By that time, Andre's health was already beginning to deteriorate, and one might say this show was a swan song. The ultimate achievement, one of the biggest babyface icons in the history of wrestling, turned heel due to that dastardly manager Bobby the Brain Heenan as they started a journey to end Hulkamania. Andre started wrestling in 1964 at the age of 18, starting in modesty, wrestling in literal barns in France. It didn't take long for promoters from around the world to notice the size and agility of this French giant. Just 6 years into the business, he gets the call from the International Wrestling Enterprise to start wrestling in Japan. Less than 1 year after that, Andre gets the call that would change his life from Vincent James McMahon and the WWF.
Andre's career in the WWF is what Vince and company should have done with the Big Show. Andre was used as a special attraction and not an everyday performer on TV, and did not get overexposed in the different territories.
It's true.
And although Andre had suffered some pinfall losses in his career outside the WWF, it was some 15 odd years until his match with Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3, where he was finally pinned clean in the middle of the ring. Being teamed up with Hill manager Bobby the Brain Heenan was absolutely amazing. And I can only imagine how great this would have been had Andre been younger and in better health. Could you imagine that match if Andre wasn't just damn near crippled?
Yeah.
If they'd have done it in like 85, Jesus.
It wouldn't have had the same, wouldn't have been ready.
Right.
WrestleMania 3 was the time to do it. And see, like me, someone my age, Andre was always a heel.
Right.
Yeah.
Me too.
Nope.
See, you're old, Timmy.
You're old.
I know.
I saw Andre the Giant wrestle in Olympic Coliseum 1971.
Him in Toronto in a cage match with Kamala was good.
Andre is all the proof you need that you don't have to be the champion to actually be over in wrestling. Sort of like The Undertaker. He didn't need the belt to be a top star.
True.
In 1989, Roussimoff was arrested and charged with assault after he attacked a KCRG TV cameraman shooting his match with the Ultimate Warrior at Cedar Rapids, Iowa's 5 Seasons Center. That sounds like a great place. While acquitted on the assault charge, he was fined $100 for criminal mischief and ordered to pay KCRG $233 in damage to its equipment. All right, literally, he should have just assaulted the Warrior instead. So
Absolutely.
Yes.
William Goldman, the author of the novel and screenplay of The Princess Bride, wrote in his nonfiction work, Which Lie Did I Tell? That was the name of the book, Which Lie Did I Tell?
Thank you.
That Roussimoff was one of the gentlest and most generous people he ever knew. I've also heard that about him.
Yeah.
Whenever Roussimoff ate,
As long as your name's not Big John Studd.
Or Jake Roberts or Randy Savage or Bam Bam Bigelow.
All right, don't be an asshole. We've met wrestlers. Don't be an asshole. Whenever Roussimoff ate with someone at a restaurant, he would pay, but he would also insist on paying when he was a guest. So he had money, we know. On one occasion, after Roussimoff attended a dinner with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Wilt Chamberlain, coming back around here, Schwarzenegger had quietly moved to the cashier to pay before Roussimoff could, but then found himself being physically lifted, carried from his table, and deposited on top of his car by Roussimoff and Chamberlain. Interesting. That would be fun to watch. Wilt Chamberlain and Andre the Giant carrying Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Could you imagine be holding the doors when Andre, Arnold, and Wilt Chamberlain, like, look at these 3 giant son bitches walking through the door. What's going on
Klondike,
here?
checkmate. Roussimoff has been unofficially crowned, which I'm making it official now.
Timmy
the
is
greatest drunk on earth.
Fatty.
Maybe right behind Dave. Who knows? For once consuming 119 beers in 6 hours. You or I combined couldn't do that. That's stand up right there.
That's just a case an hour.
I wonder how long he pissed.
All right,
Days.
New live show. We're gonna do a marathon, 6 hours, and see if between the 3 of us we can drink 119 beers.
Boy,
I guarantee you we can't.
That's still 40 apiece.
That's 70 apiece. Oh no, yeah, 40
70.
70.
Math
you
is
doing?
hard.
Math is hard.
I'll get a 70 for each house.
He drank 4,000 beers. That's 70 apiece.
My whole basement's just piss.
We'd never get through it because Tim be peeing the whole time.
Dude,
I wouldn't stop you from drinking.
he would just have to be on his phone from the bathroom.
Like I was last show.
Yeah.
On Letterman, on Dave Letterman, January 23rd, 1984, Rusumov told Dave Letterman he drank 117, not 119. So take one off for each of us.
At least he set the record straight.
Down to 69 apiece.
It's still, it's not that. It's not that.
New show. We're each doing a 69.
I don't like that either.
I don't want to 69 you on our show.
No.
Well, no.
Sounds terrible.
We'd
That
have
sounds
guest
awful.
hosts, of course.
Ugh. I think it's your turn.
Is that my turn?
That means it's my turn.
Let's go to Timmy's Trivioki.
Figaro. Figaro, 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 Figaro.
That's not Tosca.
Ugh, my ears.
My neck, my back.
Yep. Yeah, I remember. Everyone remembers when Elvis performed that.
Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you to Bermuda. Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego Bay. I have zero confidence in this week's Timmy's Trivioki.
Love it. Great. You know what? Great intro. My energy's through the roof. I'm sure the listeners are stoked.
But the listeners will probably get it. I don't trust you fucks. Song number one, clue number one. This is a song by American alternative rock group Toad the Wet Sprocket from their third studio album, Fear.
I have the song in my head.
It's their most famous song.
All I want is to feel this way.
Okay, maybe their second most
Feeling
famous
close.
song.
Feeling high.
All
I
I
By the way, I'm
this way.
I should almost give you guys the points because you at least got a Toad the Wet Sprocket song.
That's not it.
Nope. Clue
I'm
number
out then.
two.
I'm out.
The song was written after Glenn Phillips and his wife were vacationing on Orcas Island in Washington's San Juan Islands after hanging, quote, out at the Doe Bay Hot Springs with a bunch of hippies.
That helped me none.
Yeah. Clue number three. The song appears on the soundtrack of the 2013 American film Jobs. The song appears on the soundtrack of the 2014 American film Adult Beginners, which I've seen neither of those.
never seen it.
The song appears on the soundtrack of the 2015 American television series Hindsight. Also never seen it.
Nope.
What are you doing?
Ain't seen it.
I'm out.
Good
This
song.
song's- Obviously, nobody knows this song.
Oh, I love this song too.
Never heard it.
Walk on the Ocean.
Walk on
I
the
Toad
Ocean.
the Wet Sprocket.
Damn it.
Never heard it.
It's a good song. I have it on my phone.
You've heard it.
We should probably talk during it so we can still
I don't know the
play it
words.
on YouTube. I don't know I know the chorus. I don't know. And again, you picked the part no one knows to play.
This is the only part I knew.
Everything.
Walk
on the
It's so flush it down toilet and rub it on your butt.
Rub it on your butt.
Again, Dave and I both get points for getting a Toad the Wet Sprocket song.
Actually, I'm giving you the point. Fuck Dave.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, all right, bitch.
Song number two, clue number one. This is a song written and performed by Scottish singer Annie Lennox, included on her debut studio album.
Sound like
Walking
Sean
it-
Connery.
Walking in Broken Glass.
DJ gets it!
Walking on. Oh, they started the refrain.
By the way, have you? My whole life, I don't feel very confident, you guys, this weekend.
That's 2.
No, that's 1.5. You had the band the first time.
2.
This is the most confident song I had for both of you, so this is interesting.
We probably won't get it now.
Song number 3, clue number 1. This is a song written by notorious racist Eric Clapton and
Good.
Jim Gordon, who loves Batman. Originally recorded with their band Derek and the Dominoes as the 13th track from their only studio album. Clue number 2, in 1992, Clapton was invited to play for the MTV Unplugged series. On January 16, 1992, he recorded an acoustic album accompanied by a concert film at the Bray Studios in Bray, Berkshire.
In My Father's Eyes?
Your eyes. No. Clue number 3, all music critic
wasn't the
Stephen
song at all.
Thomas Erlewine said that this song seemed to be the Unplugged album's hit. He described it as a slow crawl through Derek and the Dominoes version, turning that anguished howl of pain into a cozy shuffle, and the whole album proceeds a similar amiable gait.
Layla.
Dave gets the point.
I like mine better.
I don't like black people or Jews.
That's true. He doesn't.
I do love Heather Locklear.
I used to have a girlfriend named
Cause
Layla.
she's white with blonde hair.
Layla.
Got me on my knees, Layla. Begging, darling, please, Layla. Be my Layla.
He's probably one of those people who thinks birds aren't real.
By the way, he sued the WWE in 2022 when he found out that Layla was actually black.
That's not true.
That was a good joke, Timmy. Well done. Good on you.
That's good. Yeah, I used to sing that song all the time. I had a girlfriend named Layla.
Gross.
Let's talk about it.
Is
Hit the clip.
Oh, it's time for Dave's Fave. Have you seen it?
You slip her the hot beef injection.
We're men in tights, tights.
I tell you that I got nothing, guys.
It's a tough month, guys.
So Timmy said we got 2 of them. So
One movie.
one movie. Whoa.
One movie with an unknown budget.
Off to a great start.
Our only movie this week grossed $19 million at the box office.
Whew. Judge Dredd.
Even with its low grossing box office, the film has gone on to have 9 direct-to-video sequels.
Wow.
This movie and the sequels are some of Dave's faves.
Of course they are.
This is an American action film. U.S. Marine Master Gunnery Sergeant Thomas Beckett is teamed up with a rookie as his spotter to take out a politician and a rebel leader in the jungles of Panama. This film stars Tom Berenger and Billy Zane.
Oh, damn it. Is it something weird like The Recruit or something like that?
No.
Okay. Thank you for your sarcasm.
One word. One word.
I mean, Recruit's one word.
Jungle. War.
Lame.
Vor.
Starts with Master Gunnery Sergeant teamed up with a spotter.
Sniper.
Sniper, Timmy C. Come on, man.
That was
He was in the Air Force. He didn't know anything about
you
that.
picked one movie and that was it.
Top Gun.
Yeah, and I'm sure you two assholes were surrounded by snipers in the army. Get out of here.
The only other only other movie I'd ever heard of and not seen was Leprechaun 2.
Oh, you're right. I wouldn't. I mean, I
Is
love
that the one with
Leprechaun.
Jennifer Aniston in it?
Never seen it.
Really? You've never seen Leprechaun 2?
No, never seen Leprechaun 1.
Oh, you should.
Really?
I've met Dylan Postel.
It's a horror. It's a horror movie that's so bad it's good.
Does it have boobies?
Yes.
Not
It's an
Jennifer
80s.
Aniston.
It's an 80s slasher movie. Of course
Oh.
it does.
Days Faves. That was a good one, huh? Sniper.
Yeah, great.
Sniper, good job.
I think like Netflix bought the rights to it. They've been pumping out sniper movies like crazy.
So we did Toad the Wed Sprocket, Annie Lennox, Eric Clapton,
Sniper.
Sniper. Crushing it. 93, crushing it. And Bill's Cowboys. I mean, winners everywhere.
Bills were not.
You know what else was a winner here in 93?
Isis everywhere.
Layla.
Here's a winner. The first Monday Night Raw, January 11th, 1993 at the Manhattan Center.
Was it?
Your announce team, I didn't mean this show specifically, the show as an enterprise. Announcers, Vince McMahon, the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Rob Bartlett.
I love his hair.
At the end of this episode, it was by far the greatest Raw ever.
Made by Bobby Heenan and
At the
John
time.
Mooney.
At the time.
Yes. I just realized what you
It
said.
lasted 7 episodes before it got worse.
Sean Mooney is outside the Manhattan Center talking about the atmosphere before the crowd went inside. Then here comes Bobby Heenan, but Mooney informs the brain that he's been replaced by Rob Bartlett. I don't know why Mooney would know that, but Heenan would not. Heenan goes ballistic. We hit the intro.
What was the story behind Heenan not being allowed in the building?
I don't know.
I
Because
think
Rob Bartlett was
it was for
fucking
effect.
horrible.
I think Heenan was trying to transition to not being on the road anymore. I think is what it was.
No,
Not being an announcer. I don't know.
they wanted to move Bartlett in because it was supposed to be like a New York City show. And Bartlett was a DJ in New York City.
Well,
so
he
they
sucked.
thought, well, yeah, I'm sure he did.
Literally, his first sentence is a botch. Yokozuna.
He
in
called
his
him that
thong
like
diaper.
42 times.
Yeah, Yokozuna in his thong diaper.
More on that in a bit.
What a I do miss
Yes.
Raw at the Manhattan.
It's not the first time that's going to happen, and it's not going to just be Rob Bartlett.
Yeah, but if you also notice, we're gonna fast forward a little bit as we get towards the end of this show. This shows how bad WWF was in 1993.
Terrible.
They're doing every Raw from the Manhattan Center, and Vince McMahon announces there are still tickets available
For next week.
For next week and the following week. That place only
But
holds like 12
hey,
people.
3 weeks from now, sold out.
Yeah.
There are still tickets available for next week. Dude, you're in a 200 seat. What are we doing?
Yeah, bring the ring up in an elevator.
I understand what happened because they were all locked outside like Bobby Heenan. Because we go to Sean Mooney and he says what a mob scene it is with 200 people outside. They just couldn't get in. They were a week early.
It was the entire Hart family.
By the way, there were all 200 of them.
Yeah.
I like the one with OnlyFans.
Mm.
Bobby Heenan trying to get in is the best part of this entire show.
It was great.
Yeah.
And the intro shows a definite departure from anything they were doing beforehand. So, I mean, they're trying something different.
It's true. More on this Rob Bartlett thing because it's just fascinating. We're joined in the building now after the intro and after Heenan by McMahon, Macho Man, and Rob Bartlett as they tell us about the card. Bartlett tells us how excited he is to see Yokozuna and his song.
Rob Bartlett, perhaps the worst announcer in wrestling history, behind Mike Adamle, and I'm giving him a pass because he had Alzheimer's.
Jeff
Again,
Harvey.
It's
He has Alzheimer's.
It's downhill from here. Match 1. Coco Beware with Owen Hart's Future Music takes on Yokozuna. This is when Yoko This is when Yoko was at his peak as he is about to win the Royal Rumble and head on a collision course to take on the WWF champion Bret Hart at Caesar's Palace at WrestleMania 9. If this debut took place...
WrestleMania IX.
Thank you. Thank you. If this debut, if Yokozuna's debut took place today, Bartlett would have been fired before the match was over. Koko does a great job selling here, but this is domination by Yoko. He gets the win with the Banzai drop.
I just don't get how anybody would think it's a good idea to bring in somebody that knows nothing about your product to be an announcer. It was obvious that he didn't know shit about any of this.
I mean, they brought in that mass fucking AEW.
Well, he at least can pronounce Tope Suicida.
Tope Suicida. Actually, Jim Ross does it better.
And also, they didn't have a product yet.
Jim Ross doesn't know what it is and does it better.
But yeah, Bartlett's just Yokozuna all match long, throwing out some nice little racist jabs here and there.
A lot of them.
And Yokozuna just smashed Koko. It was great. But I think Yokozuna has the best leg drop in the business.
Yokozuna.
All right, you guys laugh at this. We're going to come to a part of this show where someone that is in the business and is his manager keeps calling him Yokozuna.
And Asian. He's
my Yokozuna.
Not funny.
I know. I wrote all this down and then I was like, Jesus Christ, you're not helping Mr. Fuji.
By the way, how did we miss this? Koko versus Yoko should have been the title of the show.
Unrelated, can I tell you my favorite match in Monday Night Raw history? And this is not a joke. I'm not making this up.
What's been going on for 20
years? Do you remember when Bastion Booger feuded with Bam Bam over Luna? So one night on Raw, they had a tag team match, and it was the Smoking Guns against those two. So here we go. You ready for this? It was Billy and Bart Gunn against Bam Bam Bigelow and Bastion Booger. There were 7 B names in one match. Bart, Billy, Bam Bam Bigelow, Bastion Booger.
Terrible.
Bastion Booger.
It's too bad Jericho wasn't around for these geishas because he could have really done some damage. What?
See, 93.
He was in Smoky Mountain.
Well, yeah. he was still cutting promos that didn't say anything, so we're good. Macho trying to be funny with a zipper comment, not cool. Thank you.
You know, I'm gonna get in that ring and I'm gonna beat you up. Beat you up good.
Thank you.
Bartlett calling them Oriental, also not cool. There's a lot of racism and sexism. Yoko not doing a lot here other than just being run into, which is what he did best.
Koko was flying for him in this match.
I think Koko might be dead. And then when Vince starts talking, I'm pretty sure he actually signed an NDA for that Raw girl.
Look at that pretty girl.
Yeah, he is bad.
I'm going to nuzzle her butt cheeks after the show's over. Up next, we see a promo video for the Royal Rumble. 1993, WWF was loaded, but the product was hot garbage.
Same with WCW.
That's true. I mean, the title match was Razor Ramon versus Bret Hart.
Should have been in a ladder.
Now we go to a promo from Bobby Heenan, which Vince did acknowledge was a pre-tape, so they didn't blow the angle with Heenan trying to get into the building. We're setting up the Narcissist debut against Mr. Perfect.
Has Bruce ever discussed why they gave up on Luger as a heel so soon?
No, it was just Vince saw him as the next Hogan.
Narcissist could have been great, I think, if they'd have ran with it a little bit longer.
They would have got way more miles out of the Narcissist than they would have Let's Express.
Yeah.
Well, you're both wrong.
No, we're not.
No.
Narcissus.
They called him Narcissus. And I was like, what?
Well, that's what they were going for at first.
Narcissus?
Originally, they were his name was supposed to be Narcissus. And everybody's like, bitch, that's Lex Luger.
Yeah.
So they just went with Narcissus Lex Luger.
Yeah.
No, they called him the narcissist Lex Luger.
Well, yeah, but originally he was Narcissus.
But they were trying to make him like a mythological figure.
Yeah.
And they said he's from another world.
Bobby Heenan cream him his panties at Royal Rumble 93 over Narcissus was ridiculous.
He is from another world.
Look at the obliques.
Jim Crockett promotion.
Look at that belly button.
Watch me stick my dick into his belly button. Gross.
But match 2, the Steiners take on the Executioners. In the 1970s, I believe a show we've watched before.
Yep.
The Executioners were WWF Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, it was like Big John Studd and Killer Kowalski.
Yeah. Now, at ringside, we see Dork the Clown, as they all call him that until Vince realizes his name's actually Doink. After a rather lengthy beatdown, the Steiners get the win.
So I had to look up the Executioners because I thought for sure Dwayne Gill had to be one. And he was, along with Barry Hardy.
Barry Hardy.
Yep.
Jeff
the Steiners absolutely destroyed those guys. But to me, the Steiners never fit in the WWF.
No.
No, they needed college tights.
Well, their style was just completely different from anything they were doing. So
I was just glad the commentator knew who the wrestlers are. I mean, perfect. And the Executioners may be the longest running tag team in the history of wrestling. They have been in every promotion.
Timmy, I think we should don masks and go join Rocket City Championship Wrestling as the Executioners and just get squashed.
That's all they did. Oh, hey, go get your ass beat. All right, I'm in. I don't want to fight the Steiners, though. Thank you.
I'm not getting in the ring with them.
I might take I'll take on Big Booty Judy. How
what about Charlie Steiner? Which I did find out, Timmy. Charlie Steiner's still alive.
Really?
Yes.
Last remaining Steiner brother.
That's right.
I like it.
From ESPN?
Yes.
I didn't know he died.
He didn't.
See?
He didn't. We just said that. So Executioner's longest running tag team in history, but not after this match because Scott Steiner killed both of them.
Actually, I did some research, Dave, also on the Executioners. I believe this was their last televised match.
Because Steiner killed them.
They debuted in like 1970, and I think this was the last televised match of the Executioners.
They were executed.
They were executed.
By Scott Steiner.
And then Scott Steiner jammed
and his ham cubes.
And then he shoved a Sharpie in his ass. Sean Mooney is still outside when Rob Bartlett's aunt is trying to get in. Eventually, Mooney pulls Bobby's wig off, ends the facade.
Heenan as a woman is nightmare fuel. I love it.
But it was, again, Bobby was phenomenal in this entire show.
Yeah.
To be fair, he had the biggest titties in that crowd, though.
100%. Well, no, the sisters were in the audience. I saw them. They were behind the announce position.
The girls that Tim was in the hot tub with.
Yes.
The Mantars.
Yes.
Mantars. The woman tars.
No, the Rosati sisters. They were behind the announce position. I saw them.
Timmy in the hot tub with Mantar.
That was. I don't know if you guys, when they were doing the Bobby Heenan.
Why
show,
wouldn't Kate Quigley come sit next to me or on me?
It was. They were doing the Heenan show, and they had the Rosati sisters walk out in a bikini. And he's like, "Don't worry if you smell at home, and if you're at home and you smell bacon, that's just the Rosati twins, because the lights were cooking them." When we come back, Razor Ramon is headed to the ring for an interview with Vince McMahon. It's unbelievable to me that throughout 1992, Scott Hall hadn't performed in WCW since May, and his last pay-per-view match was Halloween Havoc 91 in the infamous Chamber of Horrors cage match. And now he's
Speaking of cooking bacon,
and I think we've watched that one too. And now he's main eventing Royal Rumble for the title with Bret Hart. Good job, Bill Watts.
Threw too many people over the top rope.
Razor Ramon was so ahead of his time. Could you imagine how over he would be these days?
Very.
He would be the biggest star in the company if he could keep himself clean.
Probably literally.
Yeah.
We should talk to Al Pacino because he was at the original Tony Montana.
How many people around right now are 6'7", 280?
Not many.
Not many.
Roman Reigns.
Big Bill.
Roman Reigns isn't 6'7", 280. Big Bill. He's like 6'11".
Yeah.
He's 7 foot tall. But he's
You can't teach that.
Can't teach it.
Yeah. This is an ugly ass crowd in the Manhattan Center. They pan the crowd, and I'm like, damn! I don't care how drunk I am. That bitch got a mustache.
There's a lot. I was just gonna say a lot of Looney Tunes t-shirts, a lot of mustaches in the audience,
and they're all on women.
They look like they look They look like Marge Simpson's sisters.
They look like Marge Shot sisters.
Marge Shot. That was good. That was good.
They literally couldn't figure out how to turn down the audio from the clip they were showing during Ramon's promo. This is bad. I mean, they're figuring a lot out here.
Yeah, they're learning on the fly.
It's nice the WWF is feeding Somali pirates with their headlock on hunger. What are they doing?
They should have fired Kevin Dunn after this show.
But no, too bad. He just left.
He only made it 30.
Literally just left.
Up next is a Tatanka promo, but Bartlett was late with the throw, so he spoke over it and said, I have no idea what he said.
Holy fuck, he loves those Somali pirates. Why are you trying to give them all the food?
Match 3, Max Moon takes on Shawn Michaels. Moon actually starts this match on top. Maybe they hadn't realized yet this gimmick was shit. This match is for the Intercontinental Championship. Heavens. Now Doink comes back to the ring while Bartlett is doing a Mike Tyson impersonation. Not a good one.
His style is superfluous.
Matt Bourne as Doink could have been great and had some legs.
I know.
Unfortunately, Bourne is a... Unfortunately,
I broke my back. It's spinal.
Unfortunately, Bourne is a complete dirtbag, so that ruined Doink.
Yeah.
He's the only guy in the business that was hated by Jim Duggan. Savage is saying that Tyson got a raw deal, and mind you, his deal was for rape.
Well, it was raw, but I don't want to get into that.
What are we doing?
I gotta go to prison.
Michaels gets the win, of course.
I gotta go to prison for fucking a window ass.
This whole like, boy,
Oh,
1993 was different, huh? They're telling like, you got a raw deal, Mike. He was convicted of rape.
Which is funny because like he screwed them in 92 and they had to bring in Buster fucking Douglas.
He didn't screw them. He got knocked out.
How many other Max Moon matches were there on WWF television?
Not
7.
many. 7. Didn't know the exact number.
Viewers are down. A gimmick like Max Moon. Let's spend a lot of money on this shit. That's going to get them the viewers. Michaels eventually gets the advantage and puts away Moon with his suplex finisher that he used prior to the super kick. And that'd be pretty much it for Moon. He had a quick showing in the Royal Rumble and he was out.
Yep.
Because he was wearing like seatbelts across himself.
I wonder if this gimmick would have gotten any more attention if Conan played the character like originally intended.
Oh, geez.
No.
Let me speak on this from the moon.
All I thought was Max Moon didn't look very incredible.
What does that mean?
Wasn't he just incredible?
No. It was Paul Diamond.
Yeah, it was Paul Diamond from the Orient Express.
Stupid.
Well, Max's moon doesn't seem to shine very much.
Wow, good. Good on you. Good recovery.
Nobody can ever say they weren't trying to put Max Moon over, though, because he went like 10 minutes with Shawn Michaels.
It went a while.
Sonny couldn't do it.
Mm.
Rob Bartlett doing Mike Tyson is fucking stupid, by the way.
Worst. It was the worst thing I've ever heard.
Racism.
But remember,
sexism.
a few weeks after, because I remember I've gone back and watched these. I'm to like midnight. I'm getting ready to do WrestleMania 11.
You're the M. Night Shyamalan debuting on Raw.
So a few weeks after this, Bartlett does an entire show as an Elvis impersonator.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
Whoa.
fucking kidding me?
No, it's terrible. I mean, it's bad until Doink comes out and ties his face, but that's how the show ends. It's the end of the show.
I need that time code just so I can watch that.
Watch the whole show. You
It's actually, guess
he was
what?
all shook up.
We're in January. We can do it again.
No,
Run it back.
Now we head over to the studio for a Royal Rumble report with Mean Gene, brought to you by Ica Pro. Announced so far, Michaels versus Jannetty for the Intercontinental title. Michaels, I don't know why I put his name in just that word. It's a pre-tape about Sherry and Sean. It shows us she will be in HBA's corner. By the way, this is after. Was this Marty broke the mirror over her head? Was that?
Yeah,
what
Sean
happened?
pulled her in the way.
Yeah. Jannetty, on the other hand, is going to call the Royal Rumble Marty Jannetty Day. I don't think he has the authority to do that.
Well, it's National Fuck Your Daughter Day.
Well, apparently New Hampshire would celebrate Marty Jannetty Day before Martin Luther King Day. So there's that.
That's where the entire state of New Hampshire fucks their daughter.
Participants of the Royal Rumble match.
Facebook about it.
But every year my Facebook is just filled with shit I have to read. Royal Rumble participants include Ric Flair, Tatanka, IRS, Bob Backlund, Jerry the King Lawler, and Mr. Perfect as he cuts a pre-tape. I hate bubbly babyface Mr. Perfect.
Yes,
Yeah,
terrible.
he's terrible.
It's a
You
drizzling
can't be
shit.
perfect and be a good guy.
Ted DiBiase is in it. I believe this is his last one. Crush, Rick Martel, and Yokozuna. My next sentence, Jesus, Fuji just called him Yokozuna also.
Yukazuma.
Yokozuna. Does anyone in this company know his name? And it's a pre-tape, and they didn't redo it. They're like, it's fine.
That's fine. Rob Bartlett called him that for 15 minutes. It's fine.
It's lost in translation. He's Asian. He doesn't know. Randy Savage is in the Rumble. Papa Shango, Earthquake, The Berserker, Undertaker, Tenru, Typhoon, The Head Shrinkers, and Jim Duggan.
I should have known I couldn't get out of this shit without an event center because it's still WWE. Got to be careful, Marty Shit. He might fuck his daughter here in the Rumble.
With his
Can you
one
imagine
foot.
if they announced that?
We're gonna have an
Also-
incest angle.
Also, Marty Jannetty got to bone his daughter at the Arco Arena in Sacramento, California.
That's what happens when you book him. Jesus.
That's what happens when you book him.
Oh, so much audio to cut.
Kid, what's your gimmick? Well, I throw a few drop kicks and then I bone my daughter. What? Oh, shit. That was good, Timmy.
Oh, I'm crying.
That was good. That was good.
Oh,
None of that's getting edited out, by the way.
How did the WWF ever let Mean Gene go to WCW? I boggles my mind. He was the best ever.
yeah.
They're bleeding money here.
No, I don't care. Like,
Well, then don't pay somebody like Rob Bartlett to come.
You've got a guy calling him Yokozuna.
True.
Yeah.
To be fair, his own
And
manager is
his
calling
name is Mr.
Yokozuna.
Fuji. Cut Mr. Fuji and give his money to Mean Gene. Kurt Hennig looks like his dad here because he's got a huge ass neck.
He does.
This is where he started steroiding and whatnot. And like I said, Fuji is calling him Yokozuna. They should have changed his name. They should have just not called him Yokozuna and just be like, it's Yokozuna now.
Can you imagine Bruce Pritchard backstage? Fuck it. His name's Yokozuna now.
He's a tire.
It's Yokohama.
Whatever.
Main event. The Undertaker takes on Damian Demento.
Yeah.
Let's really appreciate what's going on here. Undertaker debuted 14 months before this show, and he's the main event of their live cable show debut. That's saying how much faith they got in that man already. As far as Demento, this was the first. I say 14 months because it's actually like 45, but that's fine. As far as Damian Demento, this was the first of his 3 Raw appearances, yet he stayed in the show's signature until 1995.
Look good. Good look.
Surprise, Undertaker won.
I will give Bartlett 1. He had 1 line. That was great. Damian Demento. This guy looks like he got his hair cut during a power surge.
That is good.
True.
That was good. Everything else, Rob Bartlett.
He had
Trash.
1.
He had one.
He had one.
He had
His
an
entire
hour.
run. One.
He had 1 hour. He had one.
Good job, Rob.
He
Demento
had
was-
like a half a season.
Demento was horrible in the ring. It's crazy how, as an adult, you can see how bad some of these people are, but you're totally blind to it when you're a kid.
Yes.
Thankfully, this match was less than 3 minutes. I mean, the Undertaker did his clothesline off the rope, the flying clothesline. Damien Demento was just wrong spot. It was.
At
Bot
least he didn't
City.
like drop him onto the floor, I guess.
Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy.
But with that being said, 2 absolute stars to start and end the first ever Raw. Yokozuna gets the win in the opening match, and the Undertaker picks up the victory in the first ever main event.
By the way, we've changed his name. He's
Yokozuna.
no longer Yokozuna. We're just going to go by 93 Raw standard.
I'm just going to say this now. If we do a show in the near future and Yokozuna's in it, because I'm going to forget between now and then, and somebody calls him Yokozuna to carry the joke on, I will probably pee my chair.
Don't worry, I got you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm just guessing this match was Damien Demento's career ender.
He made it a couple more months, but not much longer after this. Like I said, he made 3 Raw appearances.
He was in the Royal Rumble, lasted 11 minutes. And then he was
11 minutes.
11 minutes.
Yeah, and then he was pretty much he was off television pretty much all after that, and he made it through the summer before they released him.
Bushwhacker Luke got 4 seconds, and Damien Demento gets 11 minutes.
Bushwhacker Luke's one that recommended Damien Demento to the WWF.
Well, then he deserves 4 seconds. Never mind.
Thank you for foisting that shit on us. But he was in 3 Raw matches pretty early on. Like I would say in the first 2 months. And
that's
then
why
was
they
gone.
couldn't fill the Manhattan Center.
Damien Demento.
No, there
by
were
himself.
200 people outside. They just couldn't get in.
Why didn't they tag Demento and the Berserker together as a team? Imagine that shit show.
That would have been the name of the team. Welcome to the shit show.
Monday Night Shit Show. Well, if you enjoyed this week's shit show, please let us know. Give us that 5-star review wherever you get this podcast. Make sure to follow the show on Twitter at FF Popcast, on Instagram at Filter Free Popcast. Follow our Patreon network at Filter Free Net. As for us, you can find us on our social media platforms at Timmy C.
At Timmy C 1979.
Dollar Bill Dave.
At Dave in the HSV.
And I am at T Stevens 91. Next week, we're going to watch Mid-Atlantic Wrestling from January 1984.
Oh, fuck.
It's not on YouTube, though.
I'm out of town.
Of course, we're going to cover College Bowl Season Night Court. Debuts on NBC.
I'm in.
John Lennon has a posthumous single and so much more. This has been the Filter Free Podcast, and so long for now.
Joke of the week. What happened to the guy who didn't know what to wear to his premature ejaculation society meeting?
Is that a thing? Do you have their phone number?
He just came in his pants.